Okay, so now we're going to look at how to graph a trig function. So again, we need to factor out whatever's happening to the x. So this would be k of x is 2 sine 2x minus 90 plus 1. So first, the middle of our graph. That's that plus 1. That tells me that my graph is going to be centered somewhere around that line. The amplitude of 2 tells me that it's only going to go up 2 and down 2 from that middle. This x minus 90 should really be x minus 40. I hope somebody caught that. Sorry, x minus 45. I hope somebody caught that, because when I factor out 2 out of 90, I'm left with 45. Okay. So I've got my amplitude, I've got this, my period. So the period is going to be, remember what we said, it's 360 divided by 2 in this case, so it's 180. And the reason for that is that this number basically tells us how many cycles can the graph finish within one circle. So within 360, how many cycles is this graph going to finish? It's going to finish 2, which means for one cycle we just need 180. Okay? Now where are we going to start it? Well, we're going to start at 45 to the right. Okay? So now we have to decide what our graph is going to go up by. One thing that's important is what's a quarter of 180? So 180 divided by 4, and that actually happens to be 45. That number is really important in deciding a scale, because quarters of a period are important. Because to go from the middle of a graph to the top of a graph, it takes a quarter of a period. And then from the top back to the middle, another quarter. From the middle to the bottom, another quarter, and so on. So a quarter of a graph is important, and also that phase shift is important. So we can say that each 2 squares, for example, are 45 degrees. That'll be a nice and easy scale for us to follow. So 90, this will be another 45, which puts us at 135, and this will be 180, and if we want the next one, it'll be 225. Okay? Alright, so we're starting our graph 45 units to the right, and a sine graph always starts in the middle, so right there. Okay? The next thing that we want is what happens in a quarter of a period, right? A quarter of a period, the sine graph will go up to the top. So a quarter of a period is 45 degrees. So that means that 45 degrees later, at 90, it'll end up at the top. Another 45 degrees later, at 135, it'll end up in the middle. Another 45 degrees, it'll end up in the bottom. And another 45 degrees, it'll be back in the middle. And there's my sine graph, right? So really, for trigonometry, we need to know, 1, what's the middle, right? 2, what's the amplitude? So how high from the middle are we willing to go? 3, what's the starting point? And 4, what's a quarter of the period? Because after a quarter of a period, graphs change. Okay?